Yo, 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 we is back. What it is, people? Showtime. Yo, disclaimer. Don't piss me off tonight, man. Not piss me off tonight. I know this is a sensitive topic. You know, very sensitive topic. Because people is being misled and they being tricked in the they being tricked of getting into their emotions. Shalonda, what's up, baby? And worrying about a situation that we should not be worrying about. So, let me get some more people in here. Let me tell you how this happened. And make sure y'all follow me on Instagram too. Y'all do lives on Instagram. That like button. Yo, salute to Siobhan for the $40 cash app to you, man. Siobhan always come through, man. Salute to Siobhan, man. Supporting the real. Siobhan always support. And she only be knowing sometime that should be coming through. Just in time. JB cooking up. Hey, man, we ready pissing people off, man. We ready pissing people off, yo. Yo, but the truth ain't always going. Sometimes it's hard to digest. Yo, I don't know, Ray. I don't know, yo. Yo, I mean, I do know. Yo, because, yo, we get things done, yo. I mean, we fighters. Natural born. Yo, we fighters, man. I probably did. We fighters, man. So whenever you want to get some things done, run it through black people. You feel me? Whenever you want an agenda push, you run that shit through black people, man. I'm telling you, you're going to get some results. That's all it is, man. And we keep falling for it. That's the confusing part. You know, that's the part that really pisses me off. That is way too many of us still falling for the nonsense, yo. Yo, we don't have nothing to do with this ICE shit, yo. So, let me tell y'all what happened. So, after that live we did the other day, right? When I say I don't give a fuck about what's going on with ICE, yo, my Instagram has been flooded. Like, it's crazy how this happened, yo. Yo, my Instagram has been flooded with a whole bunch of videos in Minnesota where black residents, black American citizens is having run-ins with ICE. Yo, but it's not the run-ins with ICE that other people is having. But that's the narrative that they pushing. They pushing the narrative like it's all the same. Like, look at what they doing. They attacking us too. And they're not. That's not what's going on, man. So I'm going to show y'all these videos. I think I saved most of them. I hope I did. Because I don't got no other way to find them if I didn't. But I think I saved most of them. Couple videos in particular. New Year's Eve. A black man was killed by ICE. That's the narrative. Black man killed by ICE on New Year's Eve. But once you look at the details of what happened, it paints a whole different picture. Another headline. 6-month-old child, black child, I don't know if they said black in the article, but 6-month-old child injured after ICE throws smoke bomb at their car or landed underneath their car. But when you find out the details, it ain't what you think. But like I said, they're painting this narrative that black people should care because we're also being victims of ICE raids. And yo, we not. We ain't. I'm standing on it. I don't like the fact that they keep trying to trick us with that shit. And then also, now all of a sudden I'm getting all these videos of the new Black Panther Party. One in particular, he's talking about ICE. But he put up another video that most people probably didn't see, where he explained that, yo, that video was clipped up to make it seem like I said something that I didn't say. They not out there bitch fighting for no motherfucking ICE. I don't even know who the fuck these guys is, yo. Like, how long the new Black Panther Party been around, yo? Because this guy is flooding my timeline. And I never seen him a day before in my life. Never heard of him. Nothing. You see what I'm saying, You see what I'm saying, JB? Yo, but the narrative that they running is crazy. So let me show y'all what's going on, man. Let's get to business. Let's get to business. Hit that like button, y'all. Share the live, man. Let's get to motherfucking business. Yeah, them kids supposed to be up there shredding paper. They probably ain't shredded a piece of paper since I came downstairs. That's why I was running late, y'all. I was trying to set my kids up so they can, with the paper shredder. Science must have quit. Start this shit over. All right, so let me show y'all what I'm talking about. History. Look, right? Look at the caption for this video. Los Angeles Police Commissioner grilled about fatal ICE involved shooting. Black man picture on it. This is how the media does it. Black man picture as the thumbnail. But let's check this out. What actually happened?
Developing here at home, family members and activists are demanding answers after a man was shot and killed by an off-duty ICE officer in Northridge. Now, that shooting happened during New Year's Eve celebrations.
KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang is live in downtown LA, where loved ones pleaded their case to the police commission. Kimberly.
Hi, yes, the public comments portion of this meeting just wrapped up. Many were upset that there wasn't enough time allotted for everyone who signed up to speak during public comments, and many have just left this meeting a short while ago. Now, take a look at video from earlier this morning. It was a crowded room. As you can see, a large number of family members and supporters calling for justice for 43-year-old Keith Porter Jr., who was killed by an off-duty ICE agent. Dozens spoke to the 5-member police commission today, which sets policies and oversees LAPD operations with the police chief. Porter's cousin was among the speakers, and we caught up with her after she left that meeting just a short time ago.
The police commission needs to A, name the murderer, B, make arrest, and C, send it to the DA for conviction. He needs to face a jury of his peers. He needs to be convicted for the murder of Keith Porter Jr.
The unidentified Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent was off duty at the time of the shooting. It happened on the 17,700 block of Roscoe Boulevard in Northridge. It was New Year's Eve. In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said the agent bravely responded to an active shooter situation at his apartment complex. The LAPD is investigating the shooting. Now, supporters and families say Porter was not an active shooter, but he was firing a weapon into the air to celebrate New Year's Eve. His cousin called it a mistake, and here's more of what she had to say during that police commission meeting earlier. Listen.
The night that my
Yo,
cousin,
how many? Look, yo, and it's tragic what happened to this guy, yo. So I'm not, trying to downgrade this situation. But how many times has this happened in the past where a person is shooting in the air, end up being killed by police? Like, this is not uncommon, But since it's an ICE situation, and people gotta understand, these ICE people, they law enforcement. Similar to like in Baltimore, where you got now the Metro Police can pull you over now. You can get pulled over and get written a ticket by the Metro Police. It didn't used to be like that. Police is police, yo. They all got different duties and obligations, but sometimes they, the lines get drawn. The lines get smeared. Yo, he got caught shooting in the air by an officer of the law. But the picture, I'm not saying he should have done it. The picture that they're trying to paint is, ICE agents are attacking black people too. But that's not what's going on. It's not what's going on. There's not been an American black person deported by ICE. Exactly. You see what I'm saying, Davis? John Hopkins police can detain you too. That's what I'm saying. It's no different, y'all. But since it's ICE, everybody trying to blow it up and make it seem like something that it ain't, in order to get black people riled up so we can go out there protesting, rioting, looting, going to jail for a situation that don't concern us. It don't concern us, man. But they're using stories like this to try to gain momentum or gain support by the black community. And this is, it happens, y'all. It was fucked up. It's tragic. It's all of that. But this is not ICE against black people. That's all I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, I'm not trying to discredit their pain or their grief or, what they're going through. They lost a loved one. It's tragic. But this could have happened with any officer if you catch somebody shooting in the air. Any officer. It has happened in the past.
lost his life, no procedures were followed. No procedures were followed by an off-duty officer that found someone as a perceivable threat because there was no perceivable threat. I believe the first story that he told, that he heard the shots, he went outside, saw my cousin, and shot him to disarm him.
Thank you, Davis. Thank you, Davis. I talked about that on Instagram earlier. They keep trying to make it seem like, yo, but black people next. Yo, black people was first. And nobody cared. Yo, all across America, yo, we got juveniles getting sentenced to adult court at double the rates as other people, man. Double. Nobody cares about this, though. These are things I care about. These are things that we talk about vigorously on Keep It G News. But nobody else seems to care. Black teens sentenced to adult prisons more often than white kids.
According to MiamiHerald.com, between 2008 and 2022, Florida charged around 20,500 kids in adult court. Around half were charged with only nonviolent offenses.
Look, these are the things that we need to be concerned about. Between 2008 and 2022, Florida charged around 20,500 kids in adult court. Around half were charged with only nonviolent offenses. 3 out of 4 children came from minority communities. Many are still serving their sentences. These are the things that we should be protesting for. The racial economic disparities in terms of which children are moved to adult system but defend the value of law, which was an important tool for prosecutors. Hold on. Nearly 20% more likely. Look, black children are nearly 20% more likely to be tried as adults than white kids for property damage. 50% more likely to be sent to adult court for assault and battery than white kids. 3 times more likely to be tried in adult court for drug offenses than white kids. This is things that we need to be fucking worried about. How many of these African countries or these immigrants protested for this? But they want us to jump out the window for the things that they got going on. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. If you black and you care about that shit, you is misled. You misled, man. Over the course of a year, Herald reported analyzed data on juvenile cases. Prosecutors transferred to the adult system, filed around 70 record requests, reviewed hundreds of pages of arrest reports and legal filings, attended court hearings, and watched hours of footage of court proceedings. It's tragic. What it means is that young African Americans are being subjected to these damaging experiences at high rates, and some of them are likely to be permanently damaged. Nobody want to talk about this shit, though. Fuck out of here, man. Give a fuck what's going on with ICE. But they trying to paint this narrative that we should care.
Police accountability, not qualified immunity.
And as I mentioned, dozens of activists and community members attended that police commission meeting earlier.
Now, this is another story. 6-month baby injured in Minnesota by ICE. It's another story. Look at the thumbnail. Look at the thumbnail. Get the thumbnail. The thumbnails is all similar. Let's check this out.
Minutes after the shooting, protesters began gathering at the scene. Minneapolis police called in. They say demonstrators turned violent. They say people were seen throwing fireworks, rocks, even ice chunks at both Minneapolis police and those federal
and then you got
agents. Officers used tear gas to try and disperse the.
And then you got to remember, y'all, a lot of these people aren't from Minnesota. They aren't Minnesota residents. But what happens is, since we gullible, we get tricked into believing that we all out there. That got to be the worst feeling in the world. To know that you came out there to protest for free and everybody else getting paid. You feel me? You out that bitch protesting, risking your life, going to jail. And everybody else is getting paid handsomely. They getting bailed out, all that. You go out that bitch and get locked up, you're going to be sitting that bitch with a no bail. You got to go through the whole motion. But these other people that ain't from your city, that ain't from Minnesota, that came there with a job in mind, they getting bailed out and all that shit, man. But look at this story.
Crowd. In fact, during the chaos, one man tells us that ICE agents targeted his vehicle while his 6 kids were inside. A flash.
They targeted his vehicle. Look at what's going on, y'all. Yo, you riding with your kids. Why would you ride through something like this? Because let me tell you something. I'm from Baltimore. I was around when the Freddie Gray riots went down. You know, I was right up the street, not too far. 10 minutes tops. I knew the riots was going on down there. Yo, because for the most part, the riots are contained. It's all over the news. It's all in the neighborhoods. You know where the riots is at. You know if you don't want to be a part of it, you go around it. Or if you want to witness it, you ride through it. This is what you know. This is what you know. So in that sense, I'm going to let it play.
Bang, you say it's so powerful it set off his airbags.
Officers threw flashbangs and tear gas in my car and made I got 6 kids in the car. But my 6-month-old can't even breathe. My 2-year-old then flipped out the damn car. This was flipped over. My car filled with tear gas. I'm trying to pull my kids out the car.
Yeah, the man says he and his wife were trying to leave the area when they were attacked. In fact, his wife tells Fox 9 that her 6-month-old infant stopped breathing and lost consciousness. They were transported by ambulance and are currently at a hospital being treated.
They was trying to leave the area when they was attacked. Sound like they was targeted. No, yo, you went through a red zone, shorty. Fuck would you ride through a red zone with your children for? Listen to him.
Well, in the last few hours, we heard from a family who said their 6 children were hospitalized after breathing in chemical irritants when a flashbang went off under their car as they were trying to get home. Ian Russell is here with their story tonight. Ian?
Yeah, well, Julie, certainly a scary moment for this family. Destiny and Sean Jackson say they were on their normal route home yesterday when they saw the protest unfolding, eventually getting caught up in the crowds.
I'm just showing y'all this show to explain what they're doing. They're using these stories, these mistakes, or these situations to say, look, black people, it ain't just immigrants. Y'all might be next. And it's not fucking true. It's a lie. It's a lie, man. But this is what they doing. And black people falling for it. Not all. But we got a large percentage of black people that's falling for this dumbass shit. And if y'all can remember, I fucking told y'all, yo, when Trump get elected, expect this. Don't fall for it. See, that's why they don't want people like me at the top. You know, that's why they want people like academics or, you know, some of these other guys, you know, because they're not going to keep it real like that. I said it, yo, over a year ago, before Trump got elected. Black people, stand down. It's not our fight. I'm telling you what they're going to do. They try to trick us. They're going to have riots. They're going to have protests. They're going to have these instances where they want black people to get involved. And, yo, this is not our situation, yo. It ain't. Just like when we went through what we go through, it ain't their situation. They don't give a fuck. Like I said, yo, if you want to protest for anything, yo, protest for these juveniles getting sentenced to motherfucking enormous amount of years in prisons and their brain ain't even fully developed. That's something worth protesting about. To me, if you're a black person. Not this shit. Not people that came over here illegally or is illegal for whatever reason. Not this. Listen how you explain this though, y'all.
Chemical deterrence and flashbangs.
APNR, he might. He just might. He just might be a part of shenanigans. Can't keep that. Gotta keep that in mind.
Exploded around them. Chaotic moments in North Minneapolis Wednesday night.
Look,
as
y'all.
chemical gas flashbang.
Come on, y'all. Why would you ride through this? Yo, why the fuck would you ride through this with your children, man? Ain't no fucking way to roll through it. If I wanted to ride through this, I'd have been make sure I've been by myself.
flashbangs, and fireworks were exchanged.
That's crazy.
We were leaving South Minneapolis from our son's basketball game at Anderson Middle School.
As the night unfolded,
We started to see, lights and stuff.
one North Minneapolis family trying to make their way home.
Like, even trying to leave, I couldn't go backwards, forward. It was like I was just stuck.
Destiny and Sean Jackson, along with their 6 kids, had just left a nearby grocery store after the game when they turned onto Lyndale. Sean says they tried to take a side street after they saw the crowds.
There's nothing we can do if it's blocked off.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Like I said, I'm from Baltimore, y'all. I experienced Freddie Gray. You knew the rise was there, my nigga. You knew they was there. And this ain't the fuck up their case or whatever they got going on. Continue what you doing. But this for the people that's watching and the people that's watching like I'm watching. And the people that see that they trying to trick us to believe that they're attacking us too. Yo, then you knew that riots was there. Yo, this shit was all over the news, man. Shit been on the news for weeks. Them riots be contained. Them riots ain't all over the city. It ain't never like that. It's in one area. Maybe 2. But it ain't all over the city. Those riots and protests are strictly in one part of the city. Yo, why the fuck would you ride through there, yo? Why would you ride through there, yo? No, I ain't slow. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You can't tell me he didn't know them riots was there. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. All the riots, Mike Brown, yo, they put out brochures and they tell, look, we're riding here at this time. Yo, you notice it's all over the news. You didn't just make a wrong turn or make a turn and ended up there. No, you rode through there on purpose, my nigga. You rode through there on purpose with your kid because you wanted to be nosy. You wanted to be nosy, man. And look what the fuck happened. You put your kids in jeopardy, man. You and your wife or girlfriend put your kids in jeopardy, yo. This is not ICE attacking black people.
Sean and Destiny say they were stuck between crowds of protesters.
Our son's basketball game at Anderson.
Flashbangs and fireworks were exchanged.
We were leaving South Minneapolis from our son's basketball game at Anderson Middle School.
As the night unfolded,
We started to see, lights and stuff.
one North Minneapolis family trying to make their way home.
Like, even trying to leave, I couldn't go backwards, forward. It was like I was just stuck.
Destiny and Sean Jackson, along with their 6 kids, had just left a nearby grocery store after the game when they turned onto Lyndale. Sean says they tried to take a side street after they saw the crowds.
There's nothing we can do if it's blocked off.
Sean and Destiny say they were between crowds of protesters and law enforcement. When law enforcement tried to disperse the crowd,
All we heard was boom, and every airbag deployed.
they say a flashbang went off near their car as tear gas enveloped them.
And I was screaming to my oldest son, Sean. I'm like, get out, get out. Like, I can't, Mom, and I can't breathe.
Destiny says bystanders pulled her into a home to check on her as she screamed that her 6-month-old child was still in the car.
He was just like lifeless, like he had like foam like around his mouth, and he had tears coming out his eyes. I was giving him mouth to mouth, and I remember stopping and I
That's
said,
fucked up. They did that shit to they did that to their child, man. Yo, why would you do that, man? Why would you ride through there with a car full of kids, yo? That wasn't no mistake, man. You rode through there being fucking nosy, man. Come on now, yo. Like, we gotta stop falling for this shit, man. You rode through there being nosy, yo, and that was the consequences of it. Cause you shouldn't have did that. Not with your kids in the car. Like, I understand being nosy. Shit, I probably rode through there too by myself. But I ain't gonna ride through there with my motherfucking 6-month-old baby in the car, knowing they throwing out fucking flashbangs and tear gas and mace. Like, yo, come on now. You know this. Especially being in Minnesota. They've been riding Minnesota. Minnesota's a hub for riots. It's a hub. George Floyd, Minnesota, took over a whole police station. It's a hub, man. I ain't even, yo, I'm just saying, I ain't even talking about on that level. If you want a lawsuit, get the lawsuit. My thing is the narrative that's being spent is that black people are being attacked by ICE, and that is not true. It's not true. But you got so many people, Charlemagne, my son, what's the other girl name? Jasmine Crockett. You got all these people with a voice, with influence, are trying to, Black Lives Matter, are trying to get black people on board with this bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with us.
I will give you all my breath till you get yours back, because nobody wants to see their kids like that.
All right, so tell me about the school. What about the school they left? Tell me. Let me know. Tell me. Why y'all do that, y'all? If you got information, what about the school they left? What relevance does the school they left have to do with the situation? They went through the rise. They drove through the rise. Why? Why? They couldn't have went the other way? It was only one way to go? Like, I don't understand the relevance, Tim. What's the relevance to the school? They rode through the rise with kids in their car, man. They knew the rise was there, y'all. Everybody know the rise is there. That's why everybody is down there. The fuck? You mean tell me they the only people in the city that didn't know that they was riding down there? Nah, yo. I'd have backed up down that bitch. Fuck you mean? Not going that way. If I got my 6-month-old baby in the car, I don't give a fuck if it's a one way or not. I will back down and go the other way. I'm not taking my children through there. They throwing flashbangs. It's tear gas. It's mace. The chance of something happening are too great for me to make. No, I'm not, y'all. I'm basing this off of my city. My city rioted before. We knew where the riots was at. Pennsylvania Avenue, Fulton Avenue, Brycetown Road. We knew where they was at. They was there for 2 days. These riots don't move from. They are detained in a specific area of the city. So if you don't want to be a part of it, you know to avoid it. They wasn't bothering them, yo. They got caught in the mix. They wasn't bothering them. Let me run it back and let it play, because I've been doing a lot of talking. So maybe people confused. I'm going to run it back. I'm going to run it all the way through. I ain't going to say nothing.
Heard from a family who said their 6 children were hospitalized after breathing in chemical irritants when a flashbang went off under their car as they were trying to get home. Ian Russell is here with their story tonight. Ian?
Yeah, well, Julie, certainly a scary moment for this family. Destiny and Sean Jackson say they were on their normal route home yesterday when they saw the protest unfolding, eventually getting caught up in the crowds as chemical deterrents and flashbangs exploded around them. Chaotic moments in North Minneapolis Wednesday night as chemical gas, flashbangs.
My thing, look at what's, yo, why would you ride? Look at what's going on, y'all. I said I wasn't going to stop it. But look what's going on. Why would you ride through this, man? You can't tell me you didn't know this was there. This is on the news. You cannot tell me you didn't know this was happening right here. It's no way. It is no way, y'all. I'm not that naive. I'm not that fucking stupid. It's no way. This is on the news. This is on the news. You rode through that bitch being nosy, y'all, and you face the consequences of it, which is fucked up. But you can't blame nobody but yourself for that. You put your kids in harm's way, man. Cause it's like, you know, people try and kill you, and you ride around with your kids in the back seat. It's like you know you robbed the plug. You got fucking 20 bricks from him, 40,000 cash, and you taking your kids to school the next day. So when your car gets shot up, your child get killed, you're not a victim? The fuck was you, like, why would you put your child in that situation? Or you rob the plug, and the plug know where you live at, and they come there and they home invade your house and kill everybody in there. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. Man, where's the proof? Where's the proof? Where's the proof, y'all? Yo, where are you deporting black Americans from? Anna? I mean, however you pronounce it. Where are you going to deport black Americans? Deport them where? Like, yo, black America, yo, there is no place to deport black Americans. Kenya, get the fuck out of here. Man, you just fucking talking. You tripping, man. The fuck? Yo, we're from here. Born and raised. Probably 10, 15 generations in. There's no connection to Africa. You can't deport. Like, they keep saying they're going to send black people back. There's no back for black Americans. There's no back. Back where? There's no back. We ain't been a part of Africa in 500 and fucking 600 years. There's no going back nowhere, man. But stop letting the media play these dumbass games with y'all, man. Can't send us back. What the fuck? Ain't no back, y'all.
Around them. Chaotic moments in North Minneapolis Wednesday night as chemical gas, flashbangs, and fireworks were exchanged.
So look, the Somalians. Hold up. Somalian scam in Minnesota. Somalian. Shit. Look. Minnesota $1 billion fraud scam days ago. That's why they sending them back. My man put me on the desk.
No. You don't ask me nothing, baby. $2.25 million.
You know, are we the only community that does fraud?
How come they said this building was closed? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Advanced Mobility? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
The Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse as billions of dollars of fraud has been exposed, and as I showed the world the blatant fraud taking place at daycares and other locations across Minnesota, it became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota, and the HHS froze over $185 million in all payments to childcare. And while politicians like Tim Walz call people like me white supremacists and
Tim Walz. See, this is what y'all gotta understand. Pay attention to what's going on, y'all. Tim Walz was Kamala Harris running mate. He was Kamala Harris running mate out of Minnesota. George Floyd situation was in Minnesota. They took over a police precinct in Minnesota while he was the mayor or governor of Minnesota. Now he's Kamala Harris, was Kamala Harris running mate. Y'all understand what's going on? Are y'all catching what I'm throwing? Like, yo, come on, man. Come on, yo. He let Minnesota go in the flames and was rewarded by being Kamala Harris running mate. Fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. Ain't no need to beat around the bush.
Far-right
What it
delusional
is.
conspiracy theorist for exposing the fraud. Meanwhile, he actually dropped out of running for re-election. The Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Learning Center were exposed. However, the daycares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota. In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all of the dots for you, exposing all of the fraud from strange connections of the business owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV.
I'm trying to tell you, yo. Minnesota is the hub for Black Lives Matter. Minnesota is the hub for the LGBTQ movement. Minnesota is the hub for Antifa. That's why all these things are happening in Minnesota. It's a play, y'all. It's a play. ICE agents is in Minnesota because Trump knows what's going on in Minnesota. It ain't even really so much about the illegals. The people that's there protesting in Minnesota, they're not protesting for the illegals. This shit's politics, man. It's politics. And they're trying to trick black people into joining in on the play. And we're, so far they've been successful. But we don't stand for that shit over here.
And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this widespread fraud scandal for years. So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud, and you even have more fraud. What's some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of Minnesota?
Well, what I think might be sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT. My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such companies in Minnesota, and more than 90% of them are Somali-owned.
And so right here on the table, what do we have?
This bitch motherfucking bucking us. Like, yo, come on, man. Shit, if you gonna fraud and get away with let some Americans get the money. Fuck it. Like we out here letting immigrants deal. Shit, Americans need to be getting that motherfucking piece of that $9 billion. They in the way. What you talking about?
I have all this information right here.
So
yeah, we're gonna get on that, Cole.
I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company. A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment, some are in a house, some are in a convenience store, some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage, there's nobody there.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside of Minnesota?
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel, so childcare is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism is a spoke, the interpreter services, which we can get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation. Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals, someone has to deliver the kid to autism, or say they did. So it all revolves around the transportation. And so when you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just be conservative. Let's go on the low side. Let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota. Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company. So that's 800 times 20. And the way these NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going, because remember, it's non-emergency medical transportation. Well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die. So that's considered right? So it's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips, but I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trip. So that's $100 per round trip. So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies, they all own 20 vehicles, and they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip. So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips times $50 a trip. Do the math. And the reality is, how many of these trips are being provided? 0. They don't have to provide any. Why? Because when they are paid by the state of Minnesota, these companies go online and they fill out a form, and it just says, okay, how many trips, how many miles. They submit that electronically to the state, and boom, they get paid. Nobody bothers to check. They don't call the dentist, did this kid show up? They don't do anything. As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
And so
Yo,
essentially,
because the government in Minnesota is corrupt, yo. They part of the play, yo. They probably Black Lives Matter representatives. They probably Antifa. Like, yo, the shit real, man. Yo, why do y'all think, right? Let me put y'all along with something, right? A lot of them black mayors and councilmen was getting indicted under Trump. Y'all remember that? It's been going on. A lot of women, they was getting indicted, yo, because they was a part of the fucking play. They got elected through Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Like, these people that made their way into government. I think that's what he was talking about. And I'm not co-signing Trump, because Trump do a lot wrong. But I'm talking about when it strictly pertaining to this. They was getting indicted, yo, because they was part of the play, man. They got elected through Antifa. They got elected through Black Lives Matter. They got elected through the LGBTQ movement. That's how they got elected, man. It was corruption from the beginning. Like, yo, the movie, yo, that Black Lives Matter shit got so big that it allowed politicians to get into office. Like, yo, it's crazy, yo. I'm just trying to open people's eyes up to what's really going on, yo, instead of being tricked by the bullshit. So, let's get back to this. I just wanted to show y'all, because a couple days ago, we watched the video from the Breakfast Club, and the guy said this. Let me show y'all what he said a couple days ago. He was talking about the Somalians, but he didn't mention why the Somalians are being deported. He said, look, they look like us. No, they being deported because they out there bitch scamming. That's why the fuck they being deported. And he knows this, but that's not gonna, it's not gonna get black people upset if you tell the truth. You gotta get out that bitch and lie. Hold on now. The fuck is that shit at? Here you go.
Yeah.
Come on, yo. Them people being deported for a reason, bro. And you know that. You know that. Don't play stupid. All right, let's get back to this story. The guy that rolled his kids through the crossfire.
Well, in the last few hours, we heard from a family who said their 6 children were hospitalized after breathing in chemical irritants when...
Eventually getting caught up in the crowds as chemical deterrents and flashbangs exploded around them.
So, Charles.
Chaotic moments in North Minneapolis Wednesday night as chemical gas, flashbangs, and fireworks were exchanged.
My thing is, how many people will ride through there with their children, yo? Yo, how many people will ride through there with their kids in the car? Like I said, I understand being nosy. I might ride through there by myself. Yeah, but how many, especially a 6-month-old baby, will ride through here with a 6-month-old baby in the car, man? Knowingly, because they knew this. Like, we ain't buying that. I'm too smart. I've been in the streets too long. I was around when rides kicked off. I know how that shit operates. You know where they at. This ride, they've been riding here for days. The same area.
Chaotic moments in North Minneapolis Wednesday night as chemical gas, flashbangs, and fireworks were exchanged.
We were leaving South Minneapolis from our son's basketball game at Anderson Middle School.
As the night unfolded,
we started to see, lights and stuff.
One North Minneapolis family trying to make their way home.
Like, even trying to leave, I couldn't go backwards, forward. None of it. It was like I was just stuck.
Destiny and Sean Jackson, along with their 6 kids, had just left a nearby grocery store after the game when they turned onto Lyndale. Sean says they tried to take a side street after they saw the crowds.
There's nothing we can do if it's blocked off.
Sean and Destiny say they were stuck between crowds of protesters and law enforcement. When law enforcement tried to disperse the crowd,
all we heard was boom, and every airbag deployed.
They say a flashbang went off near their car as tear gas enveloped.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Yo, that was dumb. Yo, they should be charged with motherfucking child endangerment. Yo, come on, y'all. They're painting this like black, like they was attacked by ICE. No. You was in the middle of a situation that you shouldn't have been in the middle of. That's what happened. You was in the middle of a situation that you shouldn't have been in the middle of. Being nosy.
Take a side street after they saw the crowds.
There's nothing we can do if it's blocked off. Forward, none of it. It was like I was just stuck.
Destiny and Sean trying to make their way home.
Like, even trying to leave, I couldn't go backwards, forward. None of it. It was like I was just stuck.
Destiny and Sean Jackson, along with their 6 kids, had just left a nearby grocery store after the game when they turned onto Lyndale. Sean says they tried to take a side street after they saw the crowds.
There's nothing we can do if it's blocked off.
Sean and Destiny say they were stuck between crowds of protesters and law enforcement. When law enforcement tried to disperse the crowd,
all we heard was boom, and every airbag deployed.
They say a flashbang went off near their car as tear gas enveloped them.
And I was screaming to my oldest son, Sean. I'm like, get out. Like, I can't, Mom, and I can't breathe.
Destiny says bystanders pulled her into a home to check on her as she screamed that her 6-month-old child was still in the car.
That's
he
fucked
was just
up, yo.
like lifeless, like
they
he
did
had
that.
like
They
foam
put their child in
around his
danger
mouth,
like that.
and he had tears coming out his eyes. I was giving him mouth to mouth, and I remember stopping and I said, I will give you all my breath till you get yours back, because nobody wants to see their kids back.
Yo, come on, yo. That's fucked up. Y'all put your child in danger, man. Being nosy, man. You put your child in danger being nosy. Like, come on, man. It is the parents' fault. It is the parents' fault. But mainstream media isn't painting it that way. And that's all. That's what this whole video is about. The narrative that they're trying to create isn't real. It's not real. It's a false narrative.
The family was taken to the hospital, all now okay.
Like, my kid's stuff is still in the car.
No. See, Loren, it's not that they was trying to leave, Loren. They shouldn't have never been there. They knew they was there. I don't know what city you from. I don't know if your city ever experienced riots, but the riots only happen in one area. They only happen in a certain, not one area, but they don't travel. Like, it's not riding here and then riding there and then riding here. It's contained. It's contained. No, they wasn't. You don't know the story. They was even at some basketball game, and they rolled through there being nosy. And this is the result of it. This is the result of being nosy. Now they trying to play victim, like ICE attacked them, but that's not what happened. They shouldn't have been there. Right, that exactly. Exactly, Mr. P1983. The ride didn't start when he went to the game. They've been riding there all week. They've been riding there all week. Probably all month. You know, these Minnesota rides been going on for months. And they stay in the same area.
School stuff.
A family on their way home.
It is.
Caught in chaos. And the family says physically they are okay, but the mental side of things has been challenging for them. And financially, they say it will be tough to replace their vehicle. We have ways to help them right now over on KARE11.com. Julie.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, this one situation where, yo, it's sad. If the child didn't get hurt, I would say this is what they get. If the car just got destroyed, I would say this is what they get. Yeah, but they did that, man. They put themselves in that fucked up situation, man. Can't blame nobody for that. You want to be nosy. And sometimes this is what nosy gets you. That's why people mind their business. You know, because being nosy can be fatal. You know? A lot of things can happen by just being nosy. So this is a longer interview. Let's check it out. 10 minutes.
But we do continue to follow more unrest from last night. We were just telling you about it before.
They all over the news. They might be Black Lives Matter. They might be Black Lives. They might be part of the play. To be honest, they might be Black Lives Matter or Antifa. They might be They might be a part of that. I mean, I don't know, but it's possible.
Security was shot in the leg by immigration enforcement. DHS saying that a Venezuelan man here illegally fled a targeted traffic stop, crashed his vehicle, and then barricaded himself inside a home, along with two others who the DHS says attacked the agent with a shovel and broomstick, or shovel/broomstick. We've seen it both ways, and that the agent fired a defensive shot at the man they were targeting and shot him in the leg. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Minneapolis police say that the two accused of assaulting the federal agent are in custody. DHS just updated us and let us know that all three now are in custody, the man they were targeting, and then the other two who were apprehended last night as well. So minutes after the shooting, though, we just kind of showed you how those protesters were starting to gather at the scene. Minneapolis police actually characterizing this as violent. They say that people were throwing things, fireworks, rocks, ice chunks at the agents. So there was tear gas there. You saw crowds disperse. You may have also seen or heard from a Minneapolis family who was there in their vehicle during some of this chaos. A couple and their 6 children, ages 11 years old all the way down to 6 months. They were there and they wanted to share some of what happened to them last night. We spoke with them a little bit this morning, last night, and then this morning on the phone. The father spoke with us on scene after emergency responders were able to take his children to the hospital. So we wanted to play you first a little bit of last night's scene before we bring them in for a conversation.
Officers threw flashbangs and tear gas in my car and made I got 6 kids in the car. But my 6-month-old can't even breathe. My 2-year-old then flipped out the damn car. This was flipped over. My car filled with tear gas. I'm trying to pull my kid out the car.
Sean Jackson and Destiny Jackson join us now. He was the gentleman we spoke with last night, and Destiny was there in the vehicle as well. Thank you guys for joining us today to talk through what happened last night. We appreciate it. Destiny, when we talked to you this morning, you were saying that your family lives just a few minutes away from where this happened in the Hawthorne neighborhood. Can we first kind of step back and tell us about what was happening?
So they live 4 minutes, they live a few minutes away. Come on, man. You knew what the fuck was going on. Ain't like they lived on the other side of town, man. They lived a few minutes away.
How did you end up in that neighborhood?
Well, I live in the neighborhood. I had just left South Minneapolis from attending my oldest child's basketball game at Anderson Middle School. And on the way home, we stopped at our neighborhood grocery store to get dinner, actually. And we continued our path home, which happens to be the way through the protest. We weren't aware that a protest was happening. And once we got that way, we did see lights and stuff, and we continued our path to go home because it wasn't blocked off or anything. And in the mix of passing it, my husband stopped, and asked what was going on and stuff like that. And there was people there, just explaining to him what happened.
And Sean, tell me a little bit about how your family's doing today. We understand that I don't know how many of the children went to the hospital last night. Tell us about that.
3 of the children went to the hospital.
Because he said that he tried to back up. He said he tried to back up and he couldn't go backwards. She ain't saying that. That's why she's lying, yo. They rolled through there being nosy, man. They rolled through there being nosy and put their kids in danger.
Just from, of course, my infant baby, because he did stop breathing and I had to give him mouth-to-mouth and CPR to bring him back. And then my 11-year-old and my 7-year-old who has asthma, so they had to be treated. And there was me and the father who had to be treated also.
Tell me a little bit about, because people I think want to know, obviously you were on your way home, you said, from this game. What made you want to get out and stop and kind of, not just keep going? What were you guys what was the conversation had in the vehicle?
Well, after we had stopped and he had asked what was going on, we, in the mix of all of that, I seen my mother. Now, I wanted to get her out of there before anything did happen, because as we were going through, it was not violent. We were able to pass through. And I seen her. She recently got a congestive heart failure diagnosis yesterday morning. So I just wanted her, just not to be there, because I didn't know if it was going to be violent or not. It took a couple, maybe 20 to 30 minutes to get her up out of there, because how she felt so deeply about what happened. And so as we were leaving, actually, ICE were coming our way in vehicles. And a couple of them proceeded to start screaming in my window. And they were saying, get out of here, get the F out of here. And we were telling them, if you guys will move away from our car, we can get up out of here, which is what we're trying to do. You guys are in the way. We know what happened when when Renee tried to move, get out the way.
They told him get out the way, which means they wasn't intentionally attacking them. Which means they wasn't the subject of the investigation. Which means they noticed that these are Black Americans that has nothing to do with what we got going on. So get out the way. That's what that says, man.
You guys said that he hit you when she didn't. So he didn't want to move the car. He wanted to wait for them to move. And as they proceeded to move past the car, once they got to the back of the car, they rolled a tear gas bomb under the car.
How quickly, can you characterize how quickly this escalated? How long were you there? Did you sense things were starting to turn? Were there opportunities to try to leave before it escalated?
We did sense things were trying to take a turn for the worse. When, in the mix of us being there those 20 minutes, Minneapolis Police Department was dismissed. ICE agents took over everything, and a couple minutes after that, we see people with like yellow vests or jackets coming up behind ICE agents, and that's when everybody was starting.
Come on now. So y'all knew all of this. Y'all knew all of this. You listen to what she just said, y'all. It is killing their credibility. Listen to her.
20 minutes, Minneapolis police departments were taking a tear gas bomb under.
Listen to her, y'all.
How quickly, can you characterize how quickly this escalated? You know, how long were you there? Did you sense things were starting to turn? Were there opportunities to try to leave before it escalated?
We did sense things were trying to take a turn for the worse. When in the mix of us being there for those 20 minutes, Minneapolis Police Department was dismissed. ICE agents took over everything, and a couple minutes after that, we see people with like yellow vests or jackets coming up behind ICE agents, and that's when everybody was starting to like disperse. So we were in the car, you know, trying to get out, watching that happen, but ICE was blocking our exit.
Did you see any Minneapolis police say that, you know, turned violent and that there were people who were throwing rocks and ice chunks at the agents, things like that? Did you see anything like that?
I mean, in the midst of all of that happening, there were a lot of like explosive stuff going off. Not sure if it was coming from the ICE agents or if it was coming from protesters. But I did not physically see any protesters. I mean, like, I didn't see them throw anything at ICE agents.
And tell me, so, you know, there was hospitalization here. Tell me about sort of any injuries or what happened to the children. And you said, when I talked to you earlier, 11 years old is the oldest, and then six months is the youngest, right? And then you've got some twins, 4-year-olds. But so there's children in the car. Tell me about what happened kind of to them.
Y'all. Like, oh, this is dirty work, yo. The media is terrible, yo. This is dirty work, y'all. This is dirty work, y'all, that they trying to trick black people into having some compassion for this situation. Nobody have compassion when we commit crimes and get in trouble for it. But we supposed to have, yo, being in America illegally is a crime. It's a crime. You feel me? Like, why we acting like it's not a crime, man? And you can't just knock on their door and say, look, you gotta go. They won't leave.
Well, when we did finally get out the car, of course, my baby was lifeless, so I did do the CPR and mouth to mouth, and there was multiple people in the house who were pouring milk all over my other kid's face and trying to get the tear gas off of them. There were also other people in the house who were on the phone with EMS trying to get them to get there as soon as possible. There was also someone else on the phone giving me directions on what to do. So there was a lot of people from the community were there trying to help us in that situation.
Have you guys been out protesting before, or do you plan to go out in the future?
No, we have never been out protesting before. I mean, of course, we have reason to, because everybody, you know, we need to stand up for our community. But it was our first time, as like we weren't really there protesting.
Man, they part of Black Lives Matter, man. They Black Lives Matter, y'all. They just confirmed it. They Black Lives Matter, man. That's who the fuck they is. Yeah, she just told on herself, man.
But, you know, like, I did answer a few questions while I was out there, so I guess you can say I was if you want to. But really, I'm traumatized. I really
protesting
don't
with your
want
children
to,
in the car.
But with this happening to my family, it gives me the drive to do so, because...
Look, that's the play. You hear what she just said? Because this happened to my family who is black. So this is like it's like they ringing it along. Like, look, y'all, we black. This happened to us. We going out protest. Come with us. Yo, this is the game, man. How many people caught that? Did y'all catch that, or I'm alone in this? Did y'all catch what she just did? I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back.
Of course, we have reason to, because everybody, we need to stand there trying to help us in that situation.
Have you guys been out protesting before, or do you plan to go out in the future?
No, we have never been out protesting before. Of course, we have reason to, because everybody, we need to stand up for our community. But it was our first time as we weren't really there protesting. But I did answer a few questions while I was out there, so I guess you can say I was, if you want to. But I do. Really, I'm traumatized. I really don't want to. But with this happening to my family, it gives me the drive to do so, because it's just crazy.
No.
My kids were innocent. I was innocent.
This what I'm saying, 9240. Even if they was out and about, you know where the protests are. You know this. They went there intentionally. It wasn't by mistake. They went there intentionally, man.
My husband was innocent. This shouldn't have happened. We were just trying to go home.
And and we talked about this earlier, and in all fairness, just kind of reiterate this question, because people are going to say, well, you were there, you stopped. What would you say to them? You got your kids there. Why not kind of just get your mom and keep going? Or, what would you say to them?
I tried to, and I was determined to get her out. And I did not want to leave without her, because what happened to us could have happened to her too, which she was a few feet away from my car when it happened. As she was walking to her car, our car went up, And so all I was saying is, you can't, even, we're innocent, we didn't deserve that. We were passing through, and we were just trying to protect another family member.
Do you think people have an idea of what it's like to be...
You need to, Kevin. Because I'm keeping it real. I don't know if you black or whatever you is. But ain't too many people going to keep it real like I am. I be putting my page on the line. Keeping it real with y'all, man. I be getting shadow banned. Keeping it real with y'all. And still keep it real. You feel me? Shit don't never sway.
Going down there and in those situations, how quickly things can turn. We see it on TV, those who have not been there in person. What would you say to people who are thinking, I want to go down there, I want to protest, I want to, exercise my First Amendment rights? And we're talking to the people who are not trying to be agitators, the people who are really
Listen, look at what they doing. This is a play. I can just imagine what she's going to say.
Trying to exercise their First Amendment rights legally. What would you say to them
Go
about
on down.
what happened to you last night? Is there anything you would do differently? What would be your message?
I would say, be safe, have an exit plan, pay attention to their body language, pay attention to your surroundings.
I would say, man, stay the fuck in the house. This shit ain't got nothing to do with us. That's what I would say. If you black, stay your ass in the house. Let them people do their job, because this ain't got nothing to do with us. But of course, that's not what she said.
I want to, exercise my First Amendment rights. And we're talking to the people who are not trying to be agitators, the people who are really just trying to exercise their First Amendment rights legally. What would you say to them about kind of what happened to you last night? Is there anything you would do differently? What would be your message?
I would say, be safe. Have an exit plan, pay attention to their body language, pay attention to your surroundings, because...
No, not Ashley. I've been a part... I'm from Baltimore, man. I'm from Baltimore. We had rides. It ain't about me living there. I pay attention. Minnesota is the hub of Black Lives Matter. Minnesota is the hub of Antifa. That's what Minnesota is. Tim Walz was the governor of Minnesota when they took over a police station. He got rewarded by being Kamala Harris running mate. if everything was real, yo, if I'm running for president, I'm not gonna pick a governor that let the people take over the fucking police precinct. Come on, yo, people got Ashley. Come on now, tighten up. Would you do that? Do that make sense to you? You let the people take over a precinct, burn it down while you was governor. How the fuck you gonna be my running mate? How I'm gonna make you vice president? How I'm gonna make you vice president? You can't even control your fucking city. Like, oh, come on, man. See, this is what be getting frustrated. This would be frustrating me with people, man. Does that in any world do that make sense? That's like me running a business and you get indicted for stealing money, and then I make you the CEO of my business. You get indicted for stealing money, go to jail, come home. I'm running the fucking Fortune 500 company, and I make you the fucking CFO or the fucking manager. Do that make sense? Yo, can somebody tell me, yo? Because maybe I'm lost. Maybe I'm tripping. Does that make sense to people? Would you make somebody that was accused of stealing control of your finances? No, I'm gonna put you control. I'm gonna make you my accountant. I know you went to jail for fraud. I know you went to jail for money laundering. I know you went to jail for stealing, but I don't even give a fuck about none of that. I want you to be my accountant. Like, oh, come on, man. Ain't no way he supposed to have been his Kamala Harris running mate. After he let them, y'all forgot? Y'all forgot to take over the police station? Black Lives Matter protests take over police station in Minnesota. Y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot. You're gonna make that man the governor. You're gonna make that man whose city was out of control. You're gonna make that man you're gonna make that man your running mate. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. This shit don't make sense, man. Shit was all part of the play. That was his reward. He got rewarded by being Kamala Harris running mate. For letting the city go into flames. That was his reward, man. It's obvious. I don't see how everybody didn't see it when it first happened. I don't see how everybody didn't see it when it first happened. That's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh shit, he was a mayor of Minnesota? Or governor when all that shit was going on? Makes perfect sense. Now look. Now, so since I did that video saying that black people need to stand down, I have been receiving. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram too, y'all. I go live on Instagram too. Now, only thing that comes on my timeline is black people interaction with ICE agents. It's crazy.
Children here. This is a school. This is a school. You are at a school on school property. There are children at school. Arresting a teacher at a school.
George Floyd was a play, y'all.
Yes, Christina will call your mom.
George Floyd was a play, man. That's what George Floyd was. Yo, George Floyd was at least 6'5". George Floyd gave a $20 bill to a clerk, a store clerk, and waited for the police to come. George Floyd let a man kneel on his neck for 8 or 9 minutes, put up no resistance. No resistance. Naturally, yo, if you losing breath, yo, you're gonna fight. Naturally, that is your natural instinct. Fight or flight. Fight or flight kicks in those type of situations. George Floyd sat there for 9 minutes while a person kneeled on his neck till he died. George Floyd's daughter received, what's the word? Exponential amount of assistance after George Floyd's death. We talking about stocks, free rides to college. And remember, all this happened in Minnesota. George Floyd was a play, man. It's a play. Yo, they used black pain at that time to push gay rights. Antifa, Black Lives Matter is under disguise. It's really the LGBTQ movement. No, I ain't saying he killed himself. I'm saying George Floyd took a fall. George Floyd was a Freemason. He took a fall. He took a fall. That's what I'm saying George Floyd did. George Floyd took a fall. His daughter set up for life. His daughter's straight. George Floyd was getting high. George Floyd was a dope head. He couldn't provide that life for her. His daughter got a free ride to college. She got stocks. I think Celine Dion gave her daughter stocks or some shit like that. Nigga, we'll never see that happen again. Ever. There's been a lot of people murdered by police unjustly. Ain't nobody daughter got the support that George Floyd child got. Nobody. Candace Owens did a video on it, man. They never even talked to the people that George Floyd was living with at the time of his death. It was a play, y'all. Like I said, yo, even the whole Chavez thing, whatever his name is. Yo, what's the odds of him being with a rookie? And the officer that he was, you got an 18-year vet that he wasn't even supposed to take the call. He was out of area. That wasn't his call. He intercepted the call, however he intercepted it. Goes to the scene. He got a rookie and a guy that was on the force for 2 days. 2 days. So, in that situation, could nobody tell him nothing? They seen what was going on. But if you're on your second day on the shift, if you can't tell an 18-year vet how to do his job, you still learning the job. It was a perfect storm, yo. Whenever it's a perfect storm, shit ain't right. You feel me? Whenever your life don't work that way, don't nothing go perfectly. Whenever it's a perfect storm, yo, question it. That's all I'm saying.
Christina, we'll call your mom.
This has all been documented, Christina.
Not just going after brown people now, white people.
They hate everyone.
Look, no context provided as to how this happened. This just the title. During student drop-off, ICE ram into U.S. citizen teacher car, breaks her window and pulls her out to detain her. But we don't know what the fuck really happened.
This is ICE. They hate everyone. They hate freedom. They broke her window. They pulled her out of her car. They have tear gas around children.
That's because she ran my vehicle. No, I was right in front of her. You rammed her vehicle.
You rammed her vehicle. It's all documented. The record will show you are domestic terrorists.
She was turning into school and you rammed in front of her.
I will witness this. I will witness every moment of this.
Thought she was brown, but she's white.
I understand that. I'm just passing on the message that we were told by the director. Christina's being taken away. She's in that SUV. She's being kidnapped by ICE. Christina is being taken away.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking shit. Pussy American piece of shit. Fuck you, dude. Nobody, every fucking Minnesotan does not want you to fucking
kidnapped an American citizen.
Open your windows, bring her out of her
You
car.
are domestic terrorists. You are kidnapping American citizens. We will witness it.
This is school. What are you doing here? This shit.
We are respectfully observing. Because they tore her out of her car. They broke her window and pulled her from her car.
So look. So now I'm getting all these videos since I did that video about the new Black Panther Party. Oh, did y'all see this? Look at this first. United States Department of War, formerly Department of Defense, issues message to ops. FAFO video featuring Chief Keef Love Sosa. This is real, y'all. It's on their Twitter page. I told y'all war is on the horizon, man. Check this out.
Should our enemies choose foolishly and challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, FAFO.
Yo, we ready, yo. United States is ready.
Should our enemies choose foolishly and challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, FAFO.
Y'all know what that means, right? Y'all know what FAFO mean, right? Fuck around and find out. They posted this, yo. It's real. Fuck around and find out, man. United States ain't playing. All right, so look. So it's a video floating around of the new Black Panther Party, right? I mean, Trapper sent me this, right? I seen it, but I can go to his page and get to it faster. Now look at this video. Oh, they took the video down. I should still have it.
Thinking about him.
I know I saved it. Hey, Trapper, they took the video down, Trapper. I think this shit right here. Look.
All power to the people.
ICE coming after us as well. They just killed a black man in LA and was given immunity. Wake up.
Hey, let's check this out. You know, me and the cameras out here in North Philly. You know why we here? Because we was told ICE was hopping on the people over here. Over at the Brazilian bakery and over here in the neighborhoods. Now, yeah, we came out here.
Now,
and
y'all,
we see like them
I've
sprinter
never
vans.
seen this guy before. until I did that video day before yesterday saying I don't give a fuck about the ICE raids. Now, for some reason, my algorithm keep feeding me this nigga. Supposed to be Black Panthers movement.
Parked and all these blacked out vehicles parked, but it's like maybe they in their hotels getting some sleep or something, or maybe they knew that the Black Panther Party was coming, you know? Like I said before, and like I say it again, and like Huey Newton said back in the day, the Black Panther Party is an internationalist group. So we stand with all oppressed people, no matter what your ethnic background is, no matter what your cultural background is. We stand with all oppressed people. So a war on the immigrants of the United States of America is a war on everybody in America. It ain't just a war on people who just came here, or even people who've been here for a while and couldn't get their green card for whatever reason. See, they couldn't get their green card for the last 20, 30 years, but you've been enjoying their food, though. You've been enjoying taking your car to them instead of taking it to the Midas or something because it's going to be cheaper, though, right? But now they out here getting chased around and killed, and you won't do nothing about it. Hey, think this ICE ain't just coming after us. They just killed an unarmed black man in L.A. But you sitting up here acting like, oh...
The man was shooting in the air, bro. Like, I don't know, I don't know who's paying to quote this shit. Yo, but these people are being misled, and they're using these people to try to gain support by black people to rally behind this bullshit and nonsense that we ain't got nothing to do with.
But that's not our fight. Be real. All power to the people.
So look, I guess you put backlash from this. Oh, y'all seen this? Russia has now warned of end of the world if Trump follows through with his promise to take Greenland. This comes after Germany, Sweden, France, and Norway deployed troops for joint exercises with Denmark. Trump has repeatedly stated that anything less than U.S. control of the island is unacceptable. Yeah, we ready going to war, y'all. So look, I think he caught backlash from this. And now listen to him.
All power to the people. Chairman Paul Birdsong reporting for At the Community Defense Duty. Listen, two things that I need to run by you. Thing number one is, a lot of people are saying that we should not stand up against ICE because we're standing for people that aren't us. And Black Panthers only stand for black people. That is a lie. Huey P. Newton said that we are internationalists and we stand with all oppressed people no matter what color they are. That's the founder of the Black Panther Party.
Yo, but is that what they did? Fuck what he said. Is that what they did? Because maybe you know, maybe I need some more information on Black Panther, but I don't remember them standing for nobody else but black people.
That said that. So everybody who's running around talking about Black Panthers don't stand up for people other than black people don't know a damn thing about the Black Panther Party. That's thing number one. Thing number two, the Black Panther Party created something called the Rainbow Coalition, which is a coalition of Hispanics, Asians, whites, and blacks from all over the world working together to fight oppression. Again, the Black Panthers stood with the Mexicans, stood with the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans, stood with the Japanese, the Vietnamese. We actually, the Black
I don't even know, yo. My algorithm been feeding me this dude every day, like for all day today, y'all. All day yesterday. Where'd he come from? I didn't see yo before yesterday.
Did a whole campaign to end the Vietnam War because they stood with Vietnam. So for you guys who are talking all of this gibberish about, oh, you guys aren't following traditions of the original, who do you think our leaders are?
Yo, but this, if you try to make a comeback, Don, you don't make a comeback with this. This should not be his comeback story. It's a lot to come back for. It ain't this. He need to sit his dumb ass down somewhere. That's the fuck he need to do. Sit his dumb ass down somewhere, man. Because he's embarrassing the Black Panther Party.
Dixon is an original Black Panther, right? Aaron Dixon is an original Black Panther who walked with Huey Newton. That's our leadership. And Billy J. Brooks, that was Fred Hampton's right hand man. So you guys you sound stupid, to be honest. You sound like you don't really know what you're talking about.
He been paid.
Doing a lot of hooting and hollering. And
he probably Black Lives Matter too.
really know what you're talking about. If you watch Huey Newton's speech, he specifically says, we are not black nationalists. We are internationalists. And we stand with all oppressed people across the globe, no matter what your ethnicity is. Come on, man. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. You telling us what we're supposed to be doing as Black Panthers, and you don't know the first thing about a Black Panther. All power to the people, though.
This shit is crazy, y'all. They is trying so hard, y'all. They trying so hard, yo, to get black people into this bullshit.
On the license right here. This is legal. Philadelphia Crime Code 6108. Get the fuck out of my face.
I'm really starting to like this dude. Listen to this.
Get the fuck out of here.
And just open-ended, any comments you want to give to like my generation, the younger generation?
Is that like by y'all? Scratch the chance for me.
Arm yourselves and unify, or else you will die. And I mean that in a literal sense. You see on the news all the time, Renee. You know, everybody say her name, Renee.
Renee.
Right? She just got shot in the face by ICE. Right? This is a real thing, and they're not gonna stop. And the more they hurt people and get away with it, the more they gonna get that momentum to keep going. So everybody needs to unify and come together, and everybody needs to arm themselves.
I'm
right?
telling you, y'all. Yo, this is crazy what they doing, man. Yo, they really, it's like it's all hands on deck right now to get black people to join this bullshit, man. It's all hands on deck. Yo, who are these guys, man? Who co-signed them? Like, yo, for real. Like, who the fuck co-signed them to be the next Black Panthers, man? I didn't get no motherfucking memo. Ain't nobody inbox me. I ain't getting no, did we vote him in? I think this should have been a vote. If we was gonna bring the Black Panther Party back, there should have been a vote as to who should be at the top. Because who the fuck is he? For real.
Because a revolution is in the barrel of a gun, whether you believe it or not. You want to be comfortable and you want to be nice. You don't want no confrontation. Look, Huey P. Newton said it the best. Anybody without a gun is either a slave or they're about to be one. So if people worried about people being scared of him, Huey P. Newton also said this when somebody asked him, "Don't you think the Black Panther Party is scary? Don't you think it's scaring people?" He said, "My people have been the ones afraid. Hey, sister, we got free groceries over here. Free hot soup and free clothes." He said, "My people be the ones afraid for hundreds of years."
These people ain't organic. This ain't Huey P. Newton and them. This ain't motherfucking what's his man's name? This ain't Asad Shakur and them. These people are controlled. This ain't that. Don't get confused. This ain't that. This is different.
You saying people scared of us?
And just open-ended, any comments you want to give to like my generation, the younger generation, or just any generation?
Legally arm yourselves and unify, or else you will die.
Yeah, he a plant.
And I mean that in the literal.
Yeah, he a fucking plant. All of a sudden, he all over my timeline, which means somebody's definitely promoting him.
All power to the people. Chairman Paul Burton for the Black Panther Party. Important for active community defense duty. Listen, I want you to pay attention to the propaganda. So that video going around about me saying, "Hey, if an ICE agent run up on me, that ain't what happened." If you look at the video, you see I'm talking, and then he cuts to another scene, instead of showing me talking straight through, because it was chopped and spliced. So what I said was, if an ICE agent run up on me, whatever force they use against me, I'm gonna use equal force to defend myself. Ain't nobody taking me nowhere or doing nothing to me. Then after that, I said, anybody runs up on me, anybody tries to do anything to me, I put a hole in them the size of a window. Safe light repair, safe light replace, because I ain't nobody's victim. Now, I meant everything that I said, but the way they put it together, it sounded like I'm just making a threat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
He look like the guy. He said, "Look like the guy trying to say a good deal of time, shit." Yeah, he ain't lying. Because he definitely running the play. These guys ain't who we think. These guys ain't that. They ain't that. You think the government Do you think the United States government let the Black Panther Party to come back again? Yo, what the fuck was the name of that dude? Who's the FBI head of the FBI, yo? He said there will never be a rise of the Black Messiah unless we give him to him. That's what he said, man. Who's the head of the FBI? He said that, yo. They're not allowing no Black Panther Party to come back. Not the ones that was here before. Man, fuck no. J. Edgar Hoover. Man, they depleted the Black Panthers. Depleted them. Killed them. Falsely arrested them. You think they're gonna allow them to come back? Man, fuck out of here. People gotta start being real, man. This guy's a fucking federal plant. I bet if he was to look him up, he probably got locked up for some shit a couple years ago.
I don't know if the dude knew what he was doing necessarily, like he was purposely trying to make it seem like I said something like that, or if he was like, he was just putting it together because he thought it sounded good, you know what I'm saying? But, that goes for anybody though. You know, anybody that means harm towards any black man, woman, or child, anybody that means harm towards me, I'ma shoot you. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not specifically threatening anybody, but I will say about ICE, I was born here on this continent, and my dad, and his dad, and his dad, and his dad, and my mom, and her mom, and their mom, and her mom. So, my people from this continent, right?
Because, certain, whatever the fuck your name is, because, man, this is the world that we living in. You can't trust these people. He just started popping up out of nowhere. Where was he last year? Like, come on now. Like, we got to stop being real. Where was he? Yo, black people been experiencing problems for decades. Where the fuck was he? Where was he? Where was the Black Panther Party then? I just showed y'all that in some states, black teens are getting sentenced to adult prison time at 3 times the rate of white kids. Yo, protests, Black Panthers. Bring the guns out. But no, you come out for ICE, attacking immigrants. It's a fucking federal plant, man. Hell shit to protest about. Protest about nonsense.
So if somebody run up on me trying to take me somewhere else, I am going to shoot them. The reason being, because I have the right to defend myself. And there's nobody who can legally deport me to somewhere else that I wasn't born in. You know what I'm saying? I'm a citizen of this continent, right? And my people were citizens of this continent before the colonizers came over here. So you're not going to ship me nowhere. So at that point, you would be trying to kidnap me, right? And I will kill anybody who tries to kidnap me. I don't care what you call yourself. So, however you want to take it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell everybody out there, if somebody tries to kidnap you, shoot them. You know what I'm saying? If you get legally arrested for something you did.
Yeah, he ready to get people killed, man. This shit is crazy, y'all.
I can't really say nothing. If you went to a country, no matter what country you were in illegally, and they find out and they deport you, that's on you. But if somebody literally illegally tries to grab you, take you somewhere, that's kidnapping. You ain't gotta let nobody kidnap you. You better lay their ass.
Support Antifa, Pretty Tanks, you tripping. Pretty by supporting Antifa. Know what you also support? Men playing in women's sports. You support that too. You support kids being able to change their gender. That's what you're supporting, man. You know that, right? Or you didn't know that? Is that news to you? You support kids being able to switch their gender? Pretty things? That's crazy. You believe in cisgendered women? You believe that a man can just be a woman just because they want to? You Pretty things, you wild as a motherfucker. If that's what you support. I'm just long as you know what you're supporting.
So, more power to the people. More power to the people.
As long as you know what you're supporting, that's all I'm saying. Because a lot of people don't know that's what they support.
Get offended and try to say I'm too black, but
Then look at her. She's playing the game. The way that she talks and the way that she presents herself isn't the real her. She tries to present herself, I don't want to say ghetto, but that's not who she really is. So, Jasmine Crockett calls Minnesota ICE operations slave patrols. Slave patrols, y'all.
the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm going to be clear about one thing. I know my good black history, but this looks like modern day slave patrols. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court.
What does that do?
Get offended and try to say I'm too black, but the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm going to be clear about one thing. I know my good black history, but this looks like modern day slave patrols. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court.
Yo, this whole live, yo, is basically, and we got a lot more to discuss. We ain't gonna get to it tonight because it's getting late and I gotta work in the morning. But this live was to basically open people's eyes up to what's really going on. You know, it's very important, yo, to get the narrative right. You know, the media spins narratives, and they're trying to spin this narrative to trick black people into being a part of a situation that doesn't concern us in no way, shape, or form. It doesn't concern white people in no way, shape, or form. You know, these people came over here illegally. Joe Biden let damn near 10 million of these people over here illegally. They was over here taking jobs. They was over here committing crimes. I just watched some shit in Baltimore where they just indicted some MS-13 members for 4 murders. Now, I mean, now I know some of them, it's not all of them. But, yo, at the end of the day, man, when you come over here illegally, that's a crime, yo. You can't go to no country illegally and just live there. Rather, you being a valued member of society or not. I mean, that's just what it is. But, like I said, forget all of that. My main focus is to tell black people that, yo, don't fall for the media tricks and propaganda because they're trying to trick us into jumping in a situation that we're not going to benefit from at all. At all. We don't have anything to do with it. It is not our fight. Just like it wasn't their fight when we was fighting. And there's a whole bunch of things to protest if you want to be a Black Panther Party representative. And this should be at the bottom of the fucking list. But make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share the live. Make sure y'all hype the video. It's another day. Keep it G News. And I'm out.